Well, good morning. I'm getting ready here to do part two on my painted container number 153. So, if you're interested in it, then that is how you can identify it later once I complete the project. So, today, this is my live to try to sort of push myself to be more regular with my lives. And so, guys, look out. I'm going to be doing this more and more. Okay. Now, um, my little inspiration today to get myself out of my inertia, okay, mind or over body, okay. So I'm going to read this little. This is Romans 7:19 and 22. Well, it comes from that. It's not word for word. For I delight in the law of God after the inward man, but I see another law in my members wearing against the law of my mind and bringing me into captivity. So, to me, that's about getting unstuck. And so, that's my inspiration for getting here and setting up and doing my live painting, oil painting with Mwasaa. Let's get started. So, um, I'm on live with Instagram right now. And I'm also on live with Facebook. So I have all three situations set up here and my YouTube channel. So I'll be adjusting cameras as I go. And let me turn this way. You can see I'm in my art space studio where I had my live holiday show. And pieces are still available if you're interested. You can go to my previous live and check out where I've shown the numbers and those pieces that are available in my Goddess Guides and Angel series in oil and watercolor. And then these pieces, which you see today, which is my second showing last weekend of my water stories and my landscapes, Quiet Places is the name of that series. And then some other pieces, which I call meditations. And so the piece I'm working on, that I'll be working on today for a little while, is another one of my water stories. So last week I started this one. I started this demonstration. And so let me adjust. I'm painting on this container and I'm going to adjust all the cameras onto the project. And so here you see, I began a what will be a water story. Instead of doing it on canvas, I'm doing oil painting on this container. And let me hold it correctly before I drop it. All right, and so you can see there the scene that I'm working on. Now I added sky to it, but I like to take photographs from my oils, or I do plain air. And so I wanted sky in this photograph. And so I'll share with you this water story photograph that I made. And that's, where I'm going with this container. And so I intend to paint both sides of it with this particular oil painting. So I'm excited about it. I've been doing the painted bottles, which you can see over here behind me. Well, I'll show those later because I would have to adjust all cameras, but I'll grab a couple of those. But I've been painting on the bottles, which can be used decoratively or as a container for oils or waters, as you like. But this one, I'm excited with this one because it's more like a canvas to me. And let me go ahead and begin to fill in the water. So I have my setup here, and I like to post my picture. I have another one that I'm going to start, and I'll share that with you. That will be my live next time. And this is a beautiful landscape photograph my brother sent me. This is actually uh, from the beach in San Francisco. And so I'm going to do that one on this container. This is kind of what I had in mind. And that's coming up next. So this is going to go like a wraparound on this container. So I'm very excited about that. So on my Facebook, I have to kind of show you in a different angle, but I'm going to be doing that live. I mean, this container live next Saturday. And so look out. All right. So, okay, let's get to the business here of painting. So I have get my brushes over here closer. And I've got my turpentine and my medium, which is Damar varnish, which it kind of helps with the drying and making it a little bit more firm on the glass. Damar varnish, mineral spirits, and linseed oil is the medium I'm using to thin down my paints. All right, so let's get in here. I'm gonna loosen up my paints here. They've sat a little while, so they have a skin over them, so I'm gonna have to move that skin out of the way. And I'm gonna jump in here on the water. I pretty much have the tree line filled in, and my sky looks good to me. And so let's see, dip in that medium a little bit, and go in here and make me some more of this blue that I was using, which is a little white, ultramarine, and cyan blue. It's more of a sky color. So we want to put a lot of what references the sky to connect the two. And I'm using a flat brush. And I'm going to put a little bit more of this more cyan color in there and work that in to show. I like to show like the motion, the movement of the water. And it's kind of a little trick to it of how you make your marks or how you paint it in a sort of splish splash motion here. Okay, we got a little something in there. Okay, get out of there, messing us up. All right, and I've kind of laid in some of the darker color with my umber to start with, and that just helps me sort of map my way through the movement of the water. And this is more of a close-up that kind of gives me a clue to the colors that I need to use and the water. So it's just a close-up view of the same waters. And so each lake, pond, or ocean that you paint, you kind of have to consider the actual color of the water, then the time of day, the kind of light that's hitting the water, and then the movement of the water. Is it brisk? Is it rough? Is it glassy surface? So then you have to modulate your brush strokes to exact that same effect. Okay. All right, and so I'm just working into this area. And once this side dries, then I'm able to go over to the other side. I could have just taken the other side into consideration first and do the tree line on the other side and then come back and then do the water on both sides. But I don't know, I feel like I need to get this side painted. So, and this is going to go kind of quickly because I'm just putting in one layer, and then I'll come back and consider those highlights that I want in there. And so I'm just doing it like a glaze over, put some more medium in there, a glaze over the brown. I'm not really totally covering it, but I just want to have it show through just a tiny bit. So I'm working my way around it, keeping my splish splash motion because you can see through to the other side. And I don't want to have too many layers and then it looks muddled on the inside or on the other side. So that's the challenge here, painting on glass on something to see through with oil. So you're or normally with oil, that's kind of like the approach that you take. You do layers, glazing with layers, but I kind of have to treat it differently, almost like you would do a watercolor in essence. Okay. And let's see, getting in here. And I want to put a little bit, as I get closer, I want to put a little bit more of the ultramarine in there as it gets towards the bottom. So let's get more of that ultramarine blue.
But you know something? I didn't let it stop
and sort of
I did my research and I worked with the doctor to learn
work that in about midway here.
You can't back down. You gotta keep it moving.
Go to ICanEvenTheOdds.com to learn more.
So it gives you a little view of what I'm doing there. And work that in. Now I may even go back in here and add more of the umber, but the initial lines was just sort of sketching out where. And even when you're working on canvas, you have to kind of do that with oil paint. Go in with your, especially plein air. And this is similar to doing plein air. You kind of have to work your outlines with one of your darker colors in the that you find in that scene, whether it's a warm color or a warm color scene or a cool color scene. So getting it done. All right. And since I'm teaching each day and all week, it's so difficult to get your energies to get your mojo, get yourself back into your own work, and so that you can come up with new ways of solving problems in your work and figure out what you're actually doing in your work. Like what are these works saying? What are you trying to do is always the question. But I'm trying my best to take away some of those feelings of defeat and work myself into. And this is the challenge that we as mothers, wives, girlfriends, community, when you work with your community a lot, you spend a lot of energy in all your different communities, because we do have many micro communities within our lives. And when you're working with so many others and you tend to be a giver, like you're ready to say yes to all these things, sometimes you have to figure out where to say yes to yourself. And this has been my challenge this month. So I'm working against my inertia. It's not really inertia for me, like that passage said. Other things can be bringing you into captivity, and so I'm breaking out. I'm trying to break out right now. And this is so pleasant. I got my meditation music. And oftentimes when I get into doing these bottles, these painted containers, it is a very much a meditation. And that's what the water brings us to, anyway. And I think that's what attracts me to this subject, is that it is a meditation of sorts. So, okay, this is playing out. This is working out very nicely. It's coming together. Got a lot of good movement in there. Loving it. I don't know. I just love this color right here for the sky. And so I have to keep remembering to change up the value or the tone so that the tone of my water is reflecting some light, but also showing the translucence of the water as well. So reflection and transparency at the same time. That's what happens. That's what you need to consider and manipulate your color so that you can get the transparency and the tone at the same time. Now, so I'm kind of having to do a wraparound so I can continue the same thing on the end of it as I work my way around. So it will all flow together on all four sides. All right. And there. So to see this, if you guys are looking at this, you can like my page, which I'll put a link there for you to like my page in Facebook, Mwasaa's Art Space Studio, where this will be posted. And you may like my YouTube video, which is being posted right now. So you can like and subscribe to my channel, Oil Painting with Mwasaa. There's several videos up there. And then I also have for kids, or the kids that I teach, I also have videos of many of the lessons that I've been doing since we've been in online learning. So you can subscribe, like, and share those videos as well. And in my backyard COVID-19 art show, I set up in my backyard and did a show with my full art festival gear, and that was very fun. And I really enjoyed doing it and sharing with people, what I'm up to, and also keeping myself engaged in my artwork. So, all right. So I've got like one good layer on there, and actually I can kind of start on this side, doing a little bit of a wraparound and continuing this design. I mean, not design, but this texture of the water in that on the side. Okay. So let's see here. Okay. Now, for our Facebook, I just realized that I hadn't pushed the button, but we're doing the Facebook Live here, and I'm just working on this container, which is container number 153, and I'm going to wrap around to the side and do. I'm going to wrap around to the side and do a the end part, but I'm going to switch to my umber and just sort of sketch out the waves on the side and put a little thinner and a little linseed oil on my brush and get over here and get some linseed. And I'm using a round, small round, which you kind of use to draw on the surface. And so what I'm doing here is I'm going to just continue some of those water waves onto this side. And I think I'll do both sides. And then I'll sort of mark where the darker part of the tree line is as well. And then I'll come back and add those, draw in that, and draw in the okay, this is the part where it's hard to talk because I'm feeling my way through what it's supposed to be. But what I'm going to do is draw in the actual little tree texture, more so, sort of an impression of the trees. And there we go. And I'll continue that. So this, again, is part of my painting with Mwasaa. You can like and share on my YouTube, my Instagram, and so I'm continuing that side. Now I'm going to go over here to the other side. And I have that side there, at least a layer, and then I'll come back and modulate the water a little bit and get the highlights. So this is, I am doing layering, but I don't want it to be as thick and solid as oil paint can be. I want it to have a little bit of transparency, as I don't want to block out the glass completely. All right, so there we go. Now let's get over here to this side and map out the water, darker values on this end here. So let me move my paint over on this side. Okay. So let me adjust this down a little tiny bit. And I just want to sort of have a sense of flow from one side to the other. And most of this will be at the bottom. So like the closer water. All right. And now the next thing for me to do here is for me to put that up here. Shift back to my water color, the color of the water. And so I'm going to get up here in my sort of cyan blue and a little white, titanium white. That is the best. All right. Hello there, Meg. I see you there. All right. So let's get in here to the sky right here on the end. I'm going to come on over with that, and then I'll touch in around that brown. I don't want to mix in with the brown because then it'll get muddy. So I'm just going to go around it for now and touch in. So you guys who may see this or are watching now, please make sure you do me a favor and share with whoever you want to, and like. My YouTube is Mwasaa Sherrard. My Instagram is Mwasaa Space Studio 2. And you can DM me or inbox me or message me at any of those. Facebook Live, please check out my page. I just started the page on there. I usually post everything on my regular Facebook site, but I actually have a page now for Art Space Studio, Mwasaa's Art Space Studio. So you can check out my page. Let me put a little bit more blue in this. Darken it up just a little bit. So I'm kind of staying away from my undercolor, and I'll come back and go over that once it's a little bit drier. All right, and that's working out really nicely. So this little wraparound transition, and I'm gonna come all the way around the corner just like I did before, so I can easily do a continued picture. So it completely wraps around. All right, and there we go. So it's been kind of like exciting and fun to try to figure out how to do all these platforms, especially all at the same time, and then what button to push, because live works different on my laptop than it does on my phone. And so that's been interesting to try to figure out. I thought I was recording last weekend on Facebook, but I only had my Instagram on because I was using that laptop. All right. And so there is that side. And okay, laptop is running low on power. So we're coming to the end, and there went the Facebook Live. It's off. But that's what I wanted to accomplish today. And I'll share with you my other painted containers right quick, which are over here to the left of me. And those are done mostly with acrylic. A few of them I use oil, but I decided to start to use my oil a little bit more on these and sort of, figure that out, work on it and develop that part of the lesson of the my learning for myself. Because a lot of times I'm experimenting. I'm just saying, I get an idea and I just move forward with that idea. Or I don't know how to do something. Well, I'll just test it out, look it up, and find out if it can be done that way I'm thinking. And that's how I have learned to paint, pretty much. I don't know, it's just very satisfying, as my students will say sometimes. Oh, that's so satisfying, Ms. Sherrard. Like on certain things, like in the process, and they see how things are coming together and how things flow. And I said, yeah, art can be sort of relaxing. It can be a therapeutic situation. So that's them having their personal aha moments. All right, I said we were coming to the end, and I kind of have gotten into it now. And I need to wrap it up here. So this is great. And I just wanted to get this little side done too. So it will be parallel. Then I can work on the other side and then do a better sort of completion of the wraparound. So I'm getting around that side, and let's look at what we have here. Okay, progress. And I just need to get the tree line in there. But I'm not so much worried about that. My main thing is getting my flow of water all the way around and being happy with how that water looks. With the movement, the transparency, and the highlights. And in this case, the water is deep, so I don't have to worry about referencing what you call the substrate, which is the bottom of the water, or that is only relevant at the shoreline and in a shallow stream of sorts. So awesome, we don't have no shoreline on this side, on the bottom side, so don't have to worry about substrate. All right, so there we are. Today's painting with the Mwasaa, and got some good progress on this piece. And I'm gonna sit that right there. And I painted just under this curve, but I don't want it to be, the painting to be on the actual surface. And so I'm gonna pan in my studio right here and just give you a little quick show for today of Mwasaa's water stories and my bottles over there. So I will quickly bring one or two over of my different styles. And let's get these three. And that's number 33 is the whimsical design. And number 89 is the blue and gold. And these are all done in acrylic, which was fun to do as well. And this one is number 51. Kind of a little fun floral whimsical deal right there. All right, and just wanted to show you those couple. And thanks for joining me today. We will continue. I will be doing a live for the next one, which is going to be on this container. And I may be finished with this other one during the next live. So join me if you will, like and share, and meet me again here at my Art Space studio. Bye-bye.